Rippe Keane Marketing started when Scott had a bit of a standoff with his former boss. In other words, he flipped her off and got fired and called me, and we met at one of our old favorite watering holes, Altenbach's. And after making a pretty sizable donation to their till, we brainstormed the idea of Scott opening an ad agency. And we wrote the business plan out on the cocktail napkins and, the proverbial old school style. And he's like, well, if you're so smart, why don't you do it with me? And I said, well, if you're still around in a year, call me. And we worked together during that time. He as the agency, me as a vendor at a radio station. And a year later to the day, he called me and said, well, I don't want to be a guy that runs an ad agency out of his extra bedroom for the rest of his life. So how about I give you half the company and let you see what happens? And took a little time to muddle that through. And a couple months later, Rippe Keane Marketing was born in central headquarters, world office headquarters on Madison's east side in his extra bedroom for the first few months of the company.
Somewhere I have pictures of that loft.
The loft, yeah.
I don't know if I have pictures of us in it or not.
No, I don't remember that. I mean, I do remember seeing pictures of that. I can picture that little island, down below from the loft, and yeah.
But yeah, and philosophically, the agency was born out of the idea that we wanted to be able to do a lot more for our clients than we were able to do in just the capacity of Lucy in radio sales, me in sort of on the creative and promotion side. And I had spent the previous nearly 7 years following Lucy around the radio market like a puppy dog. And so we knew each other really well. We had worked together for 7 years, and we complemented each other really well. And so it seemed to be just a sort of a natural evolution when we showed up at the lawyer's office on January 10th of 1996 and said, we'd like to start a company. Can you write up those papers? Actually, that was the day that we signed the papers.
Right.
And officially became incorporated.
Truth of the story is we were both very frustrated that it didn't matter what the diagnosis was for the client. In other words, it didn't matter what the problem was. The prescription was always the same: buy my radio station. So it didn't matter. We had to try to fit our solution into every single problem that a client could have. And we knew that there was so much more out there and so many more ways to solve problems for clients, that was kind of the impetus for us to say, let's do that.